anxious person?
I've been told that I seem anxious. I think that probably is because I am a pretty.
Hello, good morning of 2022.
What's up, babies?
It's good to see ya.
It's too early.
It is.
Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. Let me finish this granola bar, and then we will get started with 2022. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan. Hi, friends. It's very good to see you. I hope that you had a very good and very safe New Year. Oh, God, it's 2022? No,
Emma.
Emma. No. New Year, new camera angle. It is a little bit of a new camera angle. You really get in the desk. You're right.
The unsung hero of this show.
We're just a little wider.
This is the desk. This desk keeps everything together. We put our various beverages on it.
So many beverages.
We put our phones on it.
We put our lip gloss on it.
It's important that you see what goes into this show. What goes into this show?
I swear, they used to see even more of it. Like, in a worse way. If you go back and watch early ones, the angle was, like, kind of low.
Sure. Listen, if you go back to the beginning, which I don't recommend you do.
Oh, please don't.
This is a news show, and as such, every day, everything we make is disposable.
That's true.
We put it into the landfill of internet content, and we forget about it forever.
Yes.
If you go back to the beginning and you watch the first episode of the show, don't.
That's it. That's all, everybody. Hi, friends, though. It's very good to see you. Thank you for joining us. This year is going to have a lot of cool, fun things, I think. We've got some ideas.
Yeah. Tons of ideas.
We said it at the end of the year, but we do just want to keep making this show better for you. That's it. That's the main idea.
Yeah.
We would like to just keep making the show better, and all of you showing up and supporting the show makes that possible. So thanks.
Hey.
And also,
thank you all.
new year, new goal.
New year, new goal. Here's the goal. We're gonna topple the
Empire State Building.
We're gonna topple the. I have literally no ideas. You said we had all these ideas. I've never had an idea in my life.
Well, it's okay. We're saving them.
I'm not gonna start now. I'll tell you what. I've spent my entire life pretending to be a creative person and having no ideas. I'm not gonna start now. It's been too long, and honestly, this grift has been going too well for me.
Fair. The donation goal will not show up. No matter what I do.
All right. Well,
No matter what I do.
No matter what you do, where is it in the layer order?
Good question.
I got questions.
Anyways.
I got beers. Let's drink them. Hey, everybody. Good morning. Happy New Year. Let's jump into some very good news, or just some news. You know what I mean? I can't promise all the news is going to be good news. That's something that I've learned over the last 2.5 years.
That's fair. We can never count on anything being good.
However, and look, here's what I want to do is I want to start this week. Yes, recursive goals.
Yes.
They say that you shouldn't set a goal or a task. You should create systems.
Okay.
And I think that's what it means is if you put donation bars inside of donation bars inside of donation bars, it's no longer just a task,
My New Year's
it's a system.
resolution is to meet a donation goal and get sugar breakfast.
Hey, help us meet our goal.
Help us live our New Year's resolution.
Help us pay our rent. I just want to set expectations for this next week of shows.
Okay.
I want to do it. It's very important. Is one of these pressed that shouldn't be pressed right now? Thank you. I want to set this up just to let you know at home what we're looking at for the next week or two here, and that is the biggest release of this week in games is Putt Putt Travels Through Time for the Nintendo Switch. That's what's coming. So everybody take your expectations for news for the week and put it down like here.
So I talked about this on my stream.
But also Freddy Fish 3.
Okay.
The Case of the Stolen Conch Shell.
Are you familiar with the putt-putt games?
I am familiar. Putt-putt is, everybody knows putt-putt. If you had a computer and you wanted to play games on it, back in the day when you were a youth, you would look for games and all you would find was Math Blasters and putt-putt.
Okay, so for me that was Pajama Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I played a lot of Pajama Sam, but I never played. I don't think I played a putt-putt, though it does look familiar. The name doesn't sound familiar to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's an adorable little car.
Adorable little purple car.
And he talk and he do thing.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
Yeah, I was in Thunder and Lightning Ain't So Frightening.
Mm-hmm.
Pajama Sam world. No need to hide when it's dark outside.
Did you ever do Math Blasters?
No, I don't think so.
Or Super Solvers?
Super Solvers, yes, at like the school computer.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. And you could do it at lunch, and it was like, oh yeah, you can have a fun little activity, and it was a trick.
It was a trick.
It was a trick.
It was a trick, and it was even the little guy. The little kid looked like a cool animated detective, and so you were drawn in, and then you were like,
yeah.
I'm just looking for verbs.
I'm just learning.
I'm just
God
learning
damn it.
things.
Absolutely not.
And let me tell you something. Educational games are neither educational nor games. Discuss. There was nothing. Listen, they were barely games, and I learned nothing.
I mean, look where we ended up.
I have no ideas. I have no ideas in my head.
I would like to think, honest to God, like deep in my soul, I genuinely believe a little bit of my enthusiasm for Pajama Sam actually influenced who I am now.
That's probably fair.
Because I didn't have it at home. I didn't have games. There was no games on the phone, you know?
Yeah.
You got any games on your phone?
Yeah. No.
We didn't have. There was I think a PC.
Your phone was a clear plastic VTech.
Right.
There were no games on that.
We did have a PC in the living room, like a family PC, floppy disks and all, but it always had viruses.
See, now
so I couldn't use it.
My dad was and still is an engineer, and he was very into if you want to know where I get my thing for there's a new gadget, we should own it. It was my dad. This technology will change everything. This incarnation of it, no, but we should own it anyway.
That makes sense.
He was the guy. We had a PC, and he used to tell me. At first, he told me that our PC didn't play games. It couldn't play games.
Just wasn't. It wasn't that kind.
It wasn't that kind. It wasn't built to play games. And I was like, I'm a little smarter than you think. I'm not so smart that I entirely disbelieve you, but I'm a little
suspicious.
I'm a little smarter than you think. So I asked my friend's older brother, who was 15. I was like, my dad says my computer can't play games, and he's like, your dad's lying to you. And I was like, I knew it!
Hell yeah.
I knew it, Nevin. Thank you. So once I found that out, I also found his box of fucking pirated and cracked games. He was hiding shit from me the whole time.
Wow, that's savage.
He would go to work, and all the engineers would trade games around.
Fuck.
And I told you, he's a hoarder. And so he had just boxes of games that he never played, all immaculately labeled and alphabetized and real fucking neurodivergent shit. It's genetic. You know what I mean? And I found the real shit. So they were like, oh yeah, why don't you play this Number Munchers game or whatever. I was like,
Doom at home.
I was like, yeah, okay, I'll play Number Munchers. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, whoops, Police Quest. There's a fucking serial killer on the loose. Oh no, Leisure Suit Larry. Let's get laid, everybody. I'm 8 years old.
Hey, bud.
It was awesome.
Hey, bud.
What? It was great. So many video games. But they were all adventure games.
All I had access to on my home computer was Paint. It was Microsoft Paint. That was it. That was all I could do. And then eventually, MySpace. It went straight from Paint to MySpace.
Dude, I can chart my involvement in society, my excitement to go outside, and the decline of my social tendencies to literally the day I figured out how to use a modem.
Wow.
Like, it all went down immediately.
Kurt said no solitaire. I believe we had access to solitaire. I really loved solitaire as a kid, so much so that I actively play solitaire on my phone.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay,
just
Grandma.
one of those leftover, like, it's a little, like, brain stimmy.
A little brain stimmy.
It's just a little brain stimmy for me. While I'm watching something, I'll also play solitaire.
Yeah. What's the thing you do while you're doing things? Solitaire.
Currently, it's solitaire. I'm going through a real solitaire phase.
Blade of Creation wants to know if my father had Leather Goddesses of Phobos. He did. Very exciting title. Text adventure.
Wow. I like that bait and switch.
Yeah, it's a real bait and switch.
Anyways, what incredible way to start the news. A little bit of putt-putt.
What was the best game, I think, on the computer? Well, the best game on the computers by the time I got to, like, high school was there was somebody, one of the computer lab assistants had secretly installed an NES emulator. And if you knew how to get to it, you could use it.
That's
and so
awesome.
I had that. But
by high school, I had a lot by high school, to be fair. But in the, like, beginnings of that, it would be RuneScape and Ages of Empires, too.
I was playing a lot of Free Ski.
Free Ski, okay.
You remember Free Ski?
Yeah.
Everybody loved Free Ski.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a brain stimmy?
A little free ski.
A little Free Ski. A little Free Ski.
Feeling a little frisky.
Frisky for Free Ski. Hey, that's merch. And then you put the Yeti on it. Ooh, Frisky for Free Ski, everybody.
I can't believe that isn't already a thing.
It's because we're brilliant. I said I never had an idea in my life, but I just had one.
Your first idea.
Hey, thank you.
Everybody, congratulate Anthony.
Thank you for being here. Actually, Gray They reminds me that I did not have an idea because it's ski-free, not free ski. So I still have not yet had an idea.
Thank you. Thank you for that. While we're down a little bit of a road of nostalgia, did you play a lot of GoldenEye?
Oh, yeah.
Of course, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
oh, yeah.
Foundationally, GoldenEye was one of those very important games, one of those paving a pathway
Oh, yeah.
to
GoldenEye
some
walked,
of the worst
et cetera,
things
et
we
cetera.
have now.
But also, like, that real console 4-player couch co-op. You know what I mean?
It was a time, man.
It was huge. It was huge.
A time. So, True Achievements is a website that tracks Xbox achievement activity. Recently picked up on an achievement list for GoldenEye 007 that had never been seen before.
Ooh, now we know that remake is coming. We've heard that the remake is coming.
We've heard.
We're very excited for it.
But this does hint at it could just be a port for Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. There are 55 achievements that are worth a total of 1,000 gamer score, and it's just up there now.
I think my expectation for it. I mean, they're clearly not going to do a full, like, Master Chief collection, like total. I think we're gonna get maybe some new textures and some lighting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think part of the fun of it is, like, you keep the original models, right? Like, you keep those weird triangle-headed boys.
I love the weird triangle-headed boys.
Those Russian soldiers that are just triangle-headed. But here's the other thing. We know that there was a 360 version that was supposed to come out that was almost a new total conversion.
But was completely canceled, like, right before it was done.
Yeah, and so it may be based off of that.
It might be.
And that would be interesting to see.
I would be very intrigued to see that, though, because, like, personally, I would much rather see a port of the N64 Chaos graphics than see us get something that has Xbox 360 graphics, because that's what it was being developed for previously.
Yeah.
I don't want any of that in between shit. Either give me a beautiful new GoldenEye 007 or hit me with an N64 game.
Hit me with that N64.
And I'm totally okay with it just being an N64 game. But that weird in-between time,
I mean, 360 stuff with enough, like, upscaling and clean up textures and everything still looks pretty decent, you know? Not everything has to be the GTA collection.
I feel like that's exactly what it'll be. That's the problem.
And the 66 in the live studio audience is saying the 360 version was going to let you switch to the old graphics too, so maybe it is like a Master Chief thing. Maybe we do want that version to come out.
Yeah.
God, look at this. This interface. This whole thing. Yo, the N64 was bad. I love it. It was so bad. Like, we've talked about this before. Terrible hardware.
Yeah.
Terrible hardware with just a beautiful library of games against all odds.
Right? Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, just what a shitty piece of hardware.
Yeah, man.
What a dumb garbage piece of hardware.
I was looking this morning. I want to get one of those magnetic disk drives for my N64 that only released in Japan.
The DD?
Yep.
They're spency.
Yeah.
They're spency, and you got to watch out for those drive belts. But if you get one, I'll help you rehab it. Now, here's the thing. On a good N64 emulator or emulation cartridge, you can emulate the disk drive games now.
Yeah.
So you don't need the hardware disk drive as much.
I just think it's very funny.
I love it.
I just think it's hilarious how bad it was.
Well, you nearly bought a twin Famicom not too long ago.
I did almost buy a twin Famicom.
Which is the Famicom, which is the NES, but the Japanese version, and then the disk drive for the Famicom.
Yeah.
And it's like...
It was just... Here's the thing, is I was looking at NES, I was looking at Famicom, and then the twin Famicom was so much more, like, whimsical looking.
It's so beautiful.
It's a beautiful console. I'll pull up a picture of the twin Famicom.
Yeah, pull up a twin Famicom while we watch this boy murder some Rooskies. This is 4 polygons if it's anything. And man, I'll tell you what, as much as we love that 4-player, that 4-player was 12 pixels per screen.
Yeah. Tops.
Go ahead, bring it up. Yeah.
I was looking at the red ones.
Yeah, the Sharp Twin Famicom is beautiful.
Exactly. Particularly the Sharp one. I was just like,
It's gorgeous. I mean, look at that.
Like, that's so weird and fun.
It's really beautiful. I've nearly bought one.
It's really horrible looking in a beautiful way. You know what I mean?
I've nearly bought one a few times. And they just need so much maintenance.
Yeah.
And it's hard to find one in great shape.
Look at those fucking buttons on the front.
It's so like, dude, the whimsy of Japanese electronics. When we were afraid to let
90s.
When we were afraid to let electronics be whimsical here in the States, when everything had to be like very cool. Do you remember, like, as much as we're talking about the N64, I remember when the design for the N64 came out and people were like, "It's for babies. My PlayStation looks like a sleek piece of electronic for grown-up."
Like, even this, like, and Nintendo being the most typically whimsical of all of the console makers, like, this is what we got?
Yeah, and that was the second version too.
This is what we got?
The original one that we nearly got.
Ugh, God.
The Nintendo Advanced Video System.
Look at this beauty.
Now that's the Japanese version.
Yep.
It's an 80s fucking spaceship.
Ugh.
Put this adorable spaceship in your home.
You don't have to ask me twice.
Just do it.
Okay. Of course I will. Anyways.
This is the way it nearly came to the States, by the way. This was the original design that Nintendo made for the United States. They thought this was what we wanted. That was nearly our Nintendo. One thing I do find interesting about this is we nearly got the original square buttons that Japan got, which had to be recalled. Nintendo had to recall every single Famicom that had square buttons because they got stuck.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's why we don't use squares for stuff like that.
I will say, I agree. It looks like a typewriter. That's a businessman Nintendo. Yeah, 100%. The thing that I see there, personally, is a future where Nintendo did not take off in the U.S. Like, that obviously would not have, like, taken off with kids like the NES did.
Well, they thought they needed to compete with things like the ColecoVision and, like, the like Atari computers and stuff like that. And what was really lucky about it is they brought that to CES and tried to find a partner in the States to distribute it with them. And everybody went, no, there are 100 things like that.
No, that's just a computer.
So they went back, they redesigned it the way they wanted to, and they said, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves.
Excuse you.
Also, the weird, like, I know that's probably a zapper, but, like...
Wild. Absolutely wild.
Saige is like, I'm not letting you go where you want to go with that. Okay, that's fair. That's 100% fair. We'll move on.
Nope.
We will move on.
Nope. Anyways, I think that's all I have for nostalgia. It's nice. It's nice to start off a new year by reminiscing about better ones.
Yeah.
It wasn't better. It wasn't. It's continually better and worse every year.
Hey.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I am excited for that Goldeneye 007 though. I will play some Goldeneye. I wonder if it's one of those things that I'm gonna do a lot. Here's the thing that we got to be real about.
Okay, tell me.
It all depends on how social we're allowed to be when this comes out. Because you could do it online, but what I want is I want to have 3 friends over.
Yeah.
And I want to play some Goldeneye.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to eat snacks, and I want to have fun.
Yeah. I'm not playing over the internet.
I'm not playing Goldeneye over the internet.
No, that's ridiculous.
Absolutely not.
You know what the perfect Goldeneye port would be for me? Phasmaphobia level Goldeneye. I want
Ghosts of Russian Soldiers.
Where it's friends getting together online or co-op, like online or couch co-op, and just letting it be so bad, but them experiencing it for the first time for so many people as streamers is going to be so fun. The fun thing about Phasmaphobia is the fact that it's busted.
So you want to see streamers play the original Goldeneye for the first time?
I do, and I want to see it I think what was so interesting about Phasmaphobia taking off to me was like, you look at the top categories of games, right? And it's GTA 5.
Yeah.
It's, CSGO and all of these games that people are playing in these top categories. And then it was Phasmaphobia. And graphically, it was so funny that was such a trend. So, like, seeing that be the thing where it's like, oh, yeah, we're all getting together and we're all, co-op in a stream tonight, and it's GoldenEye 007, and it's just one polygon pointy face with an image just spread across it.
Every time an asset flip game gets as big as Phasmaphobia does, I'm so excited. I think it's very funny. We love an asset flip over here at It's Too Early. I'm not gonna
Just speak for the whole channel.
I can't speak for the whole channel. This is not official Pixel Circus, but I can tell you here on It's Too Early, we love a fucking asset flip.
We do.
I want to see crates and red barrels and just all the generic shit from the Unity engine. Yes. And I want you to have fun with it, boys. Talking about remakes.
Ooh.
One of the big ones that came out last year, well, it would have been a big one if you could get the console to play it on,
right,
was Demon's Souls for the PS5.
Yes. Blue
Point, obviously, took Demon's Souls, made an amazing, amazing remake of it. Demon's Souls is so wonderful. And I'll tell you what, the team over at From Software, obviously it was made with their blessing.
Right.
But they took some notice of it.
Yeah.
And not in a way, well, I think maybe it is a healthy way, but also an interesting way. Miyazaki has said that the Elden Ring's graphics team felt extra pressure because of Demon's Souls PS5. Miyazaki said that when people on the team at From Software played Blue Point's version of Demon's Souls, they were like, oh, shit.
Uh-oh.
We've got to make the game look good. It's got to look good. And he actually is quoted as saying, like, look, graphical fidelity is not something that we put at the top priority. I know that. You still haven't made a 60 FPS patch for Bloodborne. I know graphical fidelity doesn't matter to you. It matters to some of us. Anyway.
It's okay. It's
it doesn't
okay.
need to look any better. I just would like it to move like a game.
It was continued. What we ask for on the graphics side depends on the system and the requirements of the game itself, and it takes less priority compared to the other elements of development.
He said, I feel apologetic towards my graphics team because I know they work hard. And we've worked very hard on Elden Ring. And our programmers have been pushing a lot of new features, and we're trying to create the best looking games we've ever made. But we don't normally make nice looking games. Here's From Software historically, really cool monster designs, really cool environment designs. It all moves really weird and looks really funky.
Mm-hmm.
They're busted games, and that's one of the things that's beautiful about them. And I don't want us to get to a point where From Software feels like they can't make busted ass games anymore.
You're so right. We need to have a world where it's safe for From Software to make a busted game.
I like when they're a little busted, you know?
Something else that was really interesting from this interview was Miyazaki continuing by saying, I haven't actually played the Demon's Souls remake, but it's not because I don't enjoy playing the games that I've made in the past. It brings up a lot of old emotions, a lot of old memories, and it gets a bit overwhelming. It doesn't feel like playing anymore. So no, I have not played the Demon's Souls remake, but I'm very glad to see it get its fresh look, these brand new current gen graphics.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. That's sort of like when somebody tweets at you a video that you were in like 10 years ago. You know?
No, thank you.
Or some, like, you were on TV a couple times when you were a kid.
No, thank you.
I don't necessarily like to see that. Like, it's
No.
weird to me. It's a different,
Yeah.
like, maybe one day I'll feel wistful and nostalgic. I'll look it up myself, but I certainly don't like to be confronted with it.
Exactly. The frequency of somebody saying, I was watching a show. Could be, I was a child actor. We all know this.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, I swear I saw someone who looks just like at not Saige.
So
and
weird.
half the time,
So weird.
they know what they're doing. And half the time, they don't. Half the time, they don't. And I'm just like, yes, you've tweeted me a photo of me as a child.
It's weird.
We're looking at it together.
It's like when people tweet, could have sworn I saw at a Carboni at this place.
Oh.
Now, face me, coward.
Yeah,
If you're going-
come
if
up and say hi.
If you're going to tweet at me,
Mm-hmm.
the tweet is, don't use the passive voice. Never use the passive
Never
voice.
use the passive voice.
We're not real reporters, but I can tell you this. Never use the passive voice. When you're tweeting that, the tweet is, hey, at a Carboni, I'm at this place. I think I saw you. Are you here?
Yeah.
That's the tweet.
Can I come say hi?
The tweet is not, I think I saw at.
And
Don't put the ball in my court.
dude, and then
I'm not going to tell you whether you saw me or not.
And then I'm there, and I'm like,
Because that comes off like you're watching me from like a balcony at an opera house through those little glasses, like you have a nefarious plot.
you know what? I have a very specific instance of this that the internet is not aware of.
Mm.
I for some time, my partner and I were not ready to be public before the internet outed us about it.
Mm-hmm.
And we went to Halloween Horror Nights.
Mm.
And if the person who put this tweet out is by any chance watching it,
You
I'm
did
so
you
sorry.
did it wrong,
But
but
it's
we're
also-
not mad.
it's actually it was pretty funny, and I don't even think they tagged us in it. I think at the time I was watching so closely on Twitter for anybody mentioning our names together anytime we did anything. I was so fucking scared all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw a tweet that was like, just saw a super cute couple in like matching outfits that I swear looked like Damien and Saige.
Weird. Strange.
And then said, I know it wasn't them, but I'm just going to pretend in my head that it was. And it 1000% was us. And we were there in matching outfits. And I remember seeing it and being like, panic. Also, oh.
You two are matching outfit people.
We're not generally matching outfit people.
But I could see you doing it every once in a while to be
We're coordinated. We're not gonna have like Mickey and Minnie shit.
Oh yeah, I'm her Han.
No.
Or the
No,
I
no.
love you, I know.
It was, look, it's unique vintage. They did a Casper the Ghost line. It was pretty cute.
But
But anyways,
anyway.
I definitely saw that. And it was also one of those things, too, where I was like, they're here. They see us. And I feel like they were gaslighting themselves by being like, I know it's not them. I'm just like,
Yep.
uh-huh.
Anyway. Face us, cowards.
With a mask on.
With a mask on from a reasonable distance, because those numbers do be wild.
Yeah.
Speaking of remakes and updates and all kinds of wonderful things along those lines, you remember those Resident Evil 2 and 3 updates from a couple years ago?
I do.
They were pretty good.
They were great. It made me way too anxious. I think Resident Evil 2 is one of the most stressful games on the fucking planet.
Yeah, but the remake.
Both.
The original as well?
I don't remember the original.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that the things that are like so anxiety inducing for me are the same.
I'll tell you what, it doesn't play as smoothly as Putt-Putt Travels Through Time, the
Sure.
original Resident Evil 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Listen, here's the thing about cutting-edge, groundbreaking things. When you look back on them 20 years later,
Not so much.
not so much, and that's fine. That's fine. But those new ones were very good.
Yes, absolutely. Again, the Resident Evil remakes were great.
And
There were some control issues that were a little weird, but for the most part, they were great remakes.
they scared you a little bit, huh?
It's not fear.
No.
It wasn't.
No, God,
genuinely.
no.
And I'm not afraid to say I get scared of a game. I get scared publicly on the internet.
I'm
all
not
the
afraid
time.
to be scared. Come at me. But don't. I'm frightened.
But it just gave me anxiety. It wasn't the fear. It was just too stressful. It was
Yeah.
once it picks up and you are actively being chased, and then you have like puzzles and tasks to do.
Mm.
I was like, I'm too stressed for this.
No.
Actually, I don't think video games are supposed to make me feel this way.
That's exactly how I like a video game
No,
to
it
make
hurts.
me feel. Oh, I love it.
I was
Well,
getting chest pains.
what if I told you there is a way to turn those chest pains into full-on heart palpitations?
Tell me, Anthony.
Well, Saige, Resident Evil 2 and 3 VR mods are now available.
No.
Bow, 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 bow,
No.
bow, bow, bow,
No, I
bow.
would play 7 in VR, which I haven't done yet.
Oh, it's
Obviously,
great.
7's available in VR. I would play 8 in VR.
Obviously, 4 got the official VR treatment this year.
I'm going to make that face again. 8 in VR. You know what I mean?
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. But this is a complete VR mod for 2 and 3. It's available now. This is what I like, baby.
Why so shaky?
'Cause VR. Headset stuff from VR is always that shaky, just because it's like every little micro movement of your head that you
I
don't.
don't like it.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. I wish there was a way. I know it would require rendering like a second version of the game, which is why games don't do this. But I wish there was a clever way when you're outputting from your helmet
Mm-hmm.
to smooth out your helmet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Add a little anti-shake. I do like that during the cutscenes, it kind of pulls you out of the first-person mode. Now, they do say that if you look around during these cutscenes, you can see things that you're not supposed to see.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
Little broken things,
I would enjoy that.
which I also love. I love a boundary break. That's some of
Yeah.
my favorite stuff, too.
Same. I want to see all of that.
But I love this. I think this is wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I would play the heck out of this, and I
Now-
might.
Now, this is just a mod, so how do we feel? Do you think that it gets removed, or do you think that this is... Because here's the thing. If 4 got the VR update,
Yeah.
if 7 got VR,
Mm-hmm.
I think it is highly likely that they actually develop the VR for 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think it's likely that they developed their VR system, or they backported their VR system for 4, so they would have a new product to release. And also, I think 4 lends itself to VR very easily, more than most of the Resident Evil games.
Yeah.
Just because of the play style. And
Mhm.
I could see them wanting to put 2 and 3 officially in VR as well. I would say download these mods now.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
I hope they do not get removed. It's a fucking heartbreak every time to see how much work people put in, only to have companies take down all of that work. So enjoy it while you can.
Yeah. They're over on GitHub right now. If you just look up Resident Evil 2 VR, it'll pop up.
It's true. 2 and 3 being third person is interesting in that it doesn't lend itself as easily, but
they're also so much more puzzly than 4.
Yeah.
7 and 8 are both first person. 2 and 3 are very like slow movement puzzly, and so I think moving those to VR is interesting. What I'd like to see, what I didn't see in that clip, is how much these mods work with puzzles. You know, like I'm gonna put this crest into this thing and twist it, and I think that's the sort of thing that we'd need to wait for an official VR conversion for.
Yeah.
But at least having those puzzles in first person, I think, is interesting. Do you remember how the police station has like secret statues? What a weird thing.
So many.
What a weird
God,
thing.
there's a lot of statues in those police stations. Why was all of that in place beforehand? Because all of this didn't happen because of the zombies.
My favorite thing about it, though, is not the fact that this police station, for zero reason, exists in a strange alternate fantasy reality where there are puzzles everywhere, but the fact that they added into RE2 that welcome banner because it was supposed to be his first day as a cop. That was very good.
Yeah,
that broke my heart. I love that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
You know, out with the old though, Saige, and in with the new. We're in a new year. New things are coming.
Okay.
We got to get excited for this new.
New.
The new.
New year, new news.
New. Let's talk about some things that are coming up in the near future.
Okay, great. All right. Chicory.
No, that came out last year.
We loved Chicory.
Oh,
though.
yeah, we did love Chicory.
We absolutely loved it. So Greg Lobanov, the dev behind Chicory, posted something on Twitter, which is just a little hint.
We love the Banov, by the way. Been in the indie scene for years and years and years. You can still download tons and tons of his games, and just a wonderful bean.
So this is all we got, and it's very little, but I'm already very excited about it. Said, been waiting a long time to let everyone know I'm working on something new with the Chicory team. I can't wait to talk more about it. I hope to share more details in 2022 with this little hobbit two-legged sweet little bean. Look at this cutie.
Greg makes good stuff. The Chicory team makes good stuff. I'm excited to see the good stuff that comes from these people.
I'm excited to see that they're already working on another game. I think that's so wonderful. I mean, obviously, there's so much to speak to of the success of Chicory that, you know, opened up so many doors. But you see so many people who develop these, like, individual indie games that are so fucking hard and exhausting to make that there's often a large break. You think of, like, you know, the Ooblets devs,
yeah,
for instance. Obviously, they also had a baby, and there are all of these things, and that's a two-person team behind it. But you think of, like, these indie games that we love and cherish, and typically there is a pretty big fucking break in between them.
Well, I'll tell you something that I think is it's not a secret, but this is something that's kind of known in the industry. They were published by Finji. Finji is run by Adam and Bex Saltzman. Adam Saltzman has been an indie dev since way back. He made one of the first big iPhone games, Cannibalt. You remember that?
Yeah.
And they run their studio. They also published Night in the Woods. They published like a lot of great games. And one of the things that they do is they really, really help their teams and help their teams organize in a way that doesn't burn them out. Rebecca, who takes on a lot of the producing and publishing side of things at Finji, is very, very into making sure the teams that she works with are scheduling properly, are making sure their workload is easy enough for them to take on, and make sure that they space out their money and things like that so they're not running out of money. And so they're very, very good publishers. We love Finji very much.
That's excellent.
And so it's whenever a Finji game comes out and everybody's like, it came out really well and everybody's still healthy and happy, I'm like, I'm not surprised.
That's
Adam
awesome.
and Bex fucking crush. They fucking crush.
I will say, Greg also followed up to that tweet saying, hey, also, we're looking for folks to join us as a concept artist. Details here. And I feel like this does tell us just a little something. This is particularly, they're looking for a creature concept artist. What does that mean?
It means some of the From Software guys that are too intimidated by Demon Souls can move down to the indie 2D.
They
make their little potato men for pixels now.
I'm very, very intrigued. We'll begin in late February 2022 or later, and we'll stagger in and out of production. I mean, I feel like this tells us a little something.
Can we also shout out to this? This is something that we need to talk about in 2022. It says it's a contact role. It quotes the rate.
Yep.
Hey.
Just put your rates on things.
We don't take jobs in 2022 that hide how much they pay. We don't do that. That's our first question, and it's okay that that's our first question, and we're normalizing that.
1,000%. It is okay. It should be your first question, in fact. If somebody doesn't want to talk about money with you until multiple interviews in, that is because they are hiding something.
They want you to fall in love with the gig or feel like you've spent so much time and energy that you need the gig.
Yep.
And then they're going to tell you that they're not going to pay you what you're worth.
Correct. And potentially, if they keep you on the line of going through these interviews and you're hoping for something good, you might even miss out on other opportunities along the way. You might be waiting on their offer to end up with only one left.
And let me tell you something. If you're like, well, they're kind of stringing me along a little bit and they're not telling me how much money it is, but I really love this company and I think they're great. They're not.
Yeah.
Because they would tell you.
Because they would tell you, even if it's not on the listing, okay? We'd love for it to be on the listing. First rule should be on the listing. But if the first time you ask you don't get an answer, then it's a no. Then it's a no. Then
Also remember that it is absolutely not illegal to discuss with your colleagues how much money you make.
And they will tell you. God, will jobs tell you? I remember working in retail and it being like, you cannot discuss salary or you cannot discuss
yes, you can.
pay with your workers. And then I found out that the only man in the department was making like a solid 20% more than all of us.
Yo, like an extra $1.50 an hour, $2, like whatever it is in retail, that's huge. That's huge.
100%. We were all making like $12 an hour and he was making like 16 and had the least experience.
That makes such a huge difference.
Least experience.
That's so much more money. That's right. Almec in the live studio audience is saying, by the way, it's protected by federal law. If you get fired for discussing wages with coworkers, you can sue. Remember, 2022 is the year that we unionize. It's the year that we discuss, we unionize, and we remember that we are not a resource.
Get your money, BBs.
Get your money, BBs. Speaking of capitalism, let's jump into capitalism. Capitalism. Look, we're just pointing out how it's broken. The headline even says.
I think they had to.
They had to because people were getting angry. Roblox CEO outed for using completely legal, completely ridiculous tax dodge. Now,
Roblox is king of weird dodges. Remember when they were avoiding Apple fees by saying they were not a game, they were an experience? If you recall.
That's what I tell people that date me.
Yeah.
I'm not a game. I'm an experience. You better treat me like it.
It's not a good thing, but...
It's not?
Either side. You don't want to be treated like an experience if you want.
Oh. Huh.
Okay, buddy. It's all right. My God. So they took advantage of a tax break that was aimed at small businesses, which they are not.
So there's this law.
They're off. They're valued at $60 billion.
There's a law that's qualified small business stock, okay? This is an exemption. And what it basically means is an investor, if somebody invests in this business, they are shielded from paying taxes on profits up to $10 million. Now, here's why it's weird that it's called the qualified small business stock. The business can be worth up to $50 million.
Hi. We're a small business. We're worth negative $2,000.
We're in debt. We are in debt. If you have not bought a failed save notebook yet, just fucking do it. Just fucking do it. We're in debt. $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those things where they named it small business because the capitalists love to call themselves small businessmen, because then it makes my neighbor who runs a lawn company, who literally is a small business, think that he and that capitalist are the same, and any law that benefits that capitalist is going to benefit him. Now, basically the deal is you can grab $10 million worth of stock as an early investor in a small business and not pay back anything, not pay any taxes on the first 10 million in profits that you make. Now, the way this works is anybody can do it.
Right. So in theory, the idea would be we want to encourage people to invest in small business, right? So it sounds nice.
Mm-hmm.
We do want to encourage people to invest in small businesses.
But what people tend to do, and what the Roblox CEO, David Baszucki, did, he got his 10 mil. Then he gifted shares, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to take shares, buy them, and gift them. And then the people, if it's their first million shares, they don't have to pay either. So who you give shares to? Your wife, your mom, your dad, your husband, your kids. You gift it to people that are financially connected to you. And he has something like 3 kids. You gift it to your kids, and then you, until they're 18, are the executor of their financial. You're their financial conservator, right? So it's just $30 million to yourself. It's called peanut butter. The law is called peanut butter because you can just spread it. You can spread these things. And when I lived in San Francisco, and startups knew that they were about to take off or whatever, and this is also somehow not insider trading, when startups knew that they were about to take off, they would just buy tons of stock and gift it to family, gift it to friends, just buy. This shit is so fucking corrupt. So corrupt. And look, like this headline says,
It's legal.
It's legal. You didn't do anything legally wrong. And if I was the owner of Roblox and I had the ability to do that, and I was like, well, if I do this, I control so much more of my company, which is about to be worth billions and billions of dollars, I'm sure everyone around me would be like, yeah, you got to do it. And I'd be like, well, yeah, that makes sense. There was that thing on like, what is that YouTube series that everybody watches right now where it's like one person versus like 10 people arguing. I forget what it is, but there was something where I want to say it was Nick Green was showing it, but it was like one guy against like all of these like business owners. There's like one guy who was like a democratic socialist, and he was like explaining things, and this guy was like, hey man, I use the same tax loopholes that like the president uses and blah blah blah. Does that make me a bad person? And the guy went, yes, absolutely.
Next question.
It's not illegal, but does that make you a bad person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wealth hoarding makes you a bad person.
Yeah. The system it's a bad system, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Of course. Why wouldn't it?
Right.
Why wouldn't it? Because guess what? There are a lot of employees that work for Roblox, and they would benefit from that stock gifting as well. And I'd like to know how much money in stock was given to Roblox employees, because I bet not a lot. Stock options are so rare these days in tech. They've almost entirely gone away. So anyway, capitalism. Not even once.
Capitalism. It's more fun when it comes from Baby Quackin'.
It is more fun when it comes from Baby Kraken. I like how.
It
can I
doesn't
tell
have
you
the
something?
same bite as cannibalism.
I like how they added notification. Like we have smartwatches,
Yeah.
so you get your notification on your watch, and it's supposed to be like less obvious and invasive. I definitely just looked at a notification.
Yeah,
it
I
was
know.
not less invasive.
Yeah.
It was more invasive because it looked like I looked at my watch during my own show.
Yeah, that was actually pretty rough.
It was actually really. It was like, how much
It
longer
was
do we
like-
have to do this shit?
It was pretty rough. We also have gotten to none of these stories.
Hey, baby,
That's okay.
we're having a discussion and we're loving it.
It's a chatty day.
Speaking of capitalism, let's do the one more capitalism.
Let's do it. Hey, everybody. All right. It's that time again. If you're watching later on YouTube, you're going to pause this. Obviously, live in the chat now, sound off. Somebody new is dipping a little toe into NFTs. Hit me with it. Who is it? Who is it? Who's next? Who won? Who's next?
Pills and advice, got it. Ding, 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 ding.
Also,
Fuck. Now, remember, we do a roll call at the end of everybody that supported us, but thank you for that. That extremely generous. Extremely generous. SquareEnix. The SquareEnix.
Square.
Squeeny. Little squeens.
Square.
Don't do it. Yosuke Matsuda, the president of Squeens,
Squeeze.
the president of the Squeens, says that, baby, we have got to get up in this stuff. He says he expects that NFTs are going to become more commonplace among the general public. It's a bit of word salad, actually. It's really weird. It's really buzzwordy and strange, and it's definitely like a dude who has been told that something is worth a lot of money and doesn't quite understand it yet. Here's a chunk of this letter that I think is very interesting. I realize that some people who play to have fun, his quotes, not mine,
Truly.
and who currently form the majority of players have voiced their reservations towards these new trends, and understandably so. However, I believe that there will be a certain number of people whose motivation is to play to contribute, by which I mean to help make the game more exciting. Traditional gaming has offered no explicit incentive to this latter group of people who are motivated strictly by such inconsistent personal feelings as goodwill and volunteer spirit. This fact is not unrelated to the limitations of existing user-generated content. UGC has been brought into being solely because of individuals' desire for self-expression and not because of any explicit incentive that existed to reward them for their creative efforts. Yeah, it's a game. Playing a game and having fun is its reward. That's the reward of gaming. Gaming is not a job. Stop it. Stop it.
Hey, y'all, what the fuck was that statement? Like, of all of the companies that have dipped a toe into NFTs, all of them have been like real minimal, just like, hey, we want to try this thing. I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. People like this. We're gonna like it. and then Square fucking Enix just said, hold my audacity. I'm on my way. What? Also, I want to point out this very fucking weird thing who currently form the majority of players. Hey, where are they going? Why are the other people like who currently form? People who want to have fun with our games currently form the majority of players.
We'd like to turn them into human batteries by 2025.
Right?
If we can.
What?
If we can.
What?
By the way, this is why Matrix 4 sucked, is because it almost brought up any of these ideas and then didn't. This is really wild. And look, user-generated content, this is not new. If you can have your players make content for you and then monetize that content, you are doing less work and you're making more money. That is why Roblox is a $50 billion company. That is why that's why Second Life is still around.
I was also gonna reference Second Life.
It's
and I
still
was like,
around.
That's too dated of a reference.
It's still around because it has a real economy. EVE Online has a real economy.
Mhm.
You can't force it into everything. And there are two reasons why Roblox works. Number one is it's just fun. Kids like it.
Kids like it.
Kids like it.
It's social, it's fun, it's creative.
And people create games and then you can buy little games. Like, it makes a lot of sense. There are so many systems that you can put into place. We talked about this with the Ubisoft thing, where it's like, you don't need to sell a limited edition helmet as an NFT. You could just sell it. You don't need to sell UGC, like user generated content, as NFTs. You could just put it in there.
Anthony, can you fucking believe that they have not remade Idiocracy yet?
They don't need to.
They don't need to, but think about it, okay? In the same way that The Handmaid's Tale was very spooky, and then they did a second season that showed how they got to so spooky, and then every marginalized person on the planet went, uh-oh, that's us now. If anybody watched The Handmaid's Tale, everybody went, uh-oh, oh, no, this is the thing, it's happening now, stop. This is the thing that leads to Idiocracy. We're in it right now.
It's fucking wild, and I want to, in response, maybe not directly in response to this, but in response to a lot in games recently, a quote from Satoru Iwata, the good boy.
A little palate cleanser here, okay.
The good boy quote has been going around. I want to talk about the good boy and his good boy quote. In my view, the online games of the world are unfairly biased towards the strong. It takes the bad luck of 100 or 1,000 players to make a single player happy. Of course, I don't mean to dismiss these platforms wholesale, but as long as they retain this element, things will never expand beyond a certain level. As fun as it might look from the outside, most people will drag their heels at the entrance. There has to be another way. I've spent so many years trying to figure out how to make these online games a place where parents can feel comfortable encouraging their kids to play, and how to create a world where harassment is not an issue. You cannot tie a game to competitive capitalism without destroying the very nature of the game.
Just don't do competitive capitalism, everybody. And like, look, I say this as somebody who spent all of my early 20s deeply embroiled in the idea of hustle. Deeply, intrinsically tied my value to my output.
Fuck hustle.
And it took years, and it's still taking years to detach my value from the output that I provide as a worker.
Hey, I'm the ghost of Christmas future. I still haven't recovered. I'm almost there. I still haven't recovered from the hustle culture of my 20s and early 30s.
Fuck the hustle.
Fuck the hustle.
Grind culture is toxic. The idea of flexing the amount that you work and are exhausted by it, we're done with that now. We're so past it.
Yo.
It's great to be passionate about what you do, and if you are, what a wonderful thing. I'm so happy for you that you get to enjoy that. Still do it a normal amount.
Do it a normal amount.
Still do it a normal amount.
And just because you're doing well or not doing well, just because you're working hard or not working hard, question what you are entitled to as a human being. Question what your human dignity is worth and what should be provided and what everybody should have in order to make them feel like they have basic human dignity. That's all. That's all.
We love you, BBs.
We love you, BBs.
Happy New Year.
Happy
In the new year, fuck the hustle.
Fuck the hustle. Let's see. Well, fuck this guy. We're not doing it. Not right now.
Yeah, sure. Let's not. Let's
right
move
now.
on. Let's
I'm gonna do something.
anything else.
I'm gonna do something really dumb and small to like. It's a little amuse bouche.
Okay, yeah.
We're gonna do a little amuse bouche. Y'all keeping up with Demon Slayer?
No.
I'm all caught up. All caught up.
What is caught up? Is there a set?
Season 1.
Uh-huh.
Movie.
Uh-huh.
And now they are releasing weekly
Season 2
episodes.
Okay, so no, I am season 1, no movie, no season 2.
Season 2 is the same story as the movie, but with more detail in the beginning.
Very interesting.
So if you've seen the movie, you're okay. But they just released an episode that has that has these buff mice.
Shit.
That has
Shit,
the,
man.
that have these ripped as hell mice.
Yo, what the fuck?
And we got to give a shout out to these ripped fucking mice.
Look at their little headbands.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That's a buff mouse.
They've got
got the V.
They've got the V, and they don't actually have the V, but it's the fur
Mhm.
that gives the impression of like these are some buff ass mice.
These are some really buff mice.
Yeah,
Look at those arms.
those mice, they've been fucking doing it. They're called ninju.
Okay.
There's a team of buff mice called ninju. It's very cute.
I would like to be friends.
It's very cute. They wear the same headbands as their master.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
They match their master.
Oh my god. Oh, that's cute.
So shout out to Buff Mice. And let me tell you something. If you have not been watching Demon Slayer, maybe those buff mice will convince you to play to jump on in. The buff mice aren't even the best part of Demon Slayer.
Right. So if that's not the best part, then there's only up to go from here.
Like imagine. Shout out to buff mice everywhere. We salute you, says Jesse PB in the live studio audience, and that's correct.
You know who's kind of like a buff mouse?
Go on.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah.
he's a little bit like a buff mouse.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a buff mice guy. Vin Diesel, who of course portrays Dominate Toretto
Mm-hmm.
in the Fast and the Furious,
Dominate Toblerone.
is a fucking
Toxic
menace.
psychopath.
An absolute menace. He's a fucking menace. You might remember a few months ago, and we talked about it on the show, Vin Diesel put out a post calling to The Rock to rejoin the family in the weirdest fucking way he possibly could.
On Instagram, publicly used his children as bargaining chips.
Yeah.
Was like, come back to the franchise, come back to the family. My children miss you. They call you uncle. Motherfucker, you can let your kids see whoever they want, regardless of whether they're in a movie with you or not. Real toxic, weird bullshit.
I'll pull up the Instagram post.
And at the time, we called it out for being toxic and weird.
You know what? I'm sure we have new BBs here. Can we experience the post one more time?
Of course.
It's one of my favorite things that's ever happened on the internet.
Of course.
It was this photo of them about to kiss.
Right. You remember this part where they kiss in Fast 5.
And Vin Diesel said, "My little brother Dwayne. What a start! And also, definitely, this is edited to make him look taller, or he's standing on an apple box. Vin Diesel's a little guy.
They literally used forced perspective in some parts of the Fast and the Furious, so they look the same height. Do you remember that scene where we couldn't figure out the eye lines?
Yep.
Because Vin Diesel is not allowed to look shorter than anybody.
Okay.
Little brother. Imagine you're trying to reach out to somebody to come back. You're trying to reach out to one of the most successful people in the industry.
Uh-huh.
Someone whose career has, listen, Vin, Bubby, The Rock is now up here where you're here. Maybe during Fast 5 that was different, but
I
The
don't
Rock
even know.
The Rock is one of the biggest stars in Hollywood. This is how are you condescending in the first 3 words?
Shout out to Boy Hero for liking this post. Friend of the show, Boy Hero. Great band.
I love that.
The time has come. The world awaits the finale of Fast 10. As you know, my children refer to you as Uncle Dwayne in my house. There is not a holiday that goes by that they and you don't send well wishes, but the time has come. Legacy awaits. I told you years ago that I was going to fulfill my promise to Pablo. I swore that we would reach and manifest the best Fast in the finale that is 10. I say this out of love, but you must show up. Do not leave the franchise idle. You have very important role to play. Hobbs can't be played by no other. I hope you rise to the occasion and fulfill your destiny.
The fuck?
Hey, that's fucking unhinged, Vin Diesel. That's a weird thing to say. Everything you did in this post, from the first words.
By the way,
Wrong
Pablo,
and weird.
Pablo, so you all know, was Paul Walker's nickname on set. He invoked the late Paul Walker. He said, Vin Diesel said, "My children miss you. Paul Walker is dead, and we promised him." Wow!
Hey, man. What?
That is the most manipulative. Listen, you're looking at two people who understand a little bit about emotional manipulation.
It's called trauma.
Everybody's got a family, and that's what this is about. That's what the Fast and Furious is about family, and sometimes that family is emotionally manipulative, and that shit felt like nails on a chalkboard to me.
Yeah, same.
Reading it, I was like, I know what you're doing. But the thing is, you can't do it to somebody who doesn't feel controlled by you.
Right. So, there is an update to this. And mostly, it's The Rock being like, no.
No.
You fucking fool.
That's fucking weird and manipulative. That's literally what he said. He said no.
Kayla Norris said, I thought it was about pride. It's about power.
Yeah.
That was The Rock's response.
Yeah. It is. So he said, I was very surprised by Vin's recent post. This past June, when Vin and I actually connected, not over social media, I told him directly and privately that I would not be returning.
So this was after he already said no.
I was firm yet cordial with my words. I said I would always be supportive of the cast. I would always root for the franchise to be successful, but there was no chance that I would return. I privately spoke with my partners at Universal as well, all of whom were very supportive as they understand the problem.
The problem is Vin Diesel. He continued to say that this move was an example of his manipulation and that it was wrong for him to bring up his kids and Paul Walker's death. Yes.
Woof.
Yes, absolutely. I didn't like that he brought up his children in his post as well as Paul Walker's death. Leave them out of it. We had spoken months ago about this and came to a clear understanding. My goal all along was to end my amazing journey with the incredible Fast and Furious franchise with gratitude and grace.
These toxic car boys. Let me tell you something about these toxic car boys. As much as I love these films, these toxic car boys, man, it's no Final Fantasy 15. I'll tell you that. The magical car boys have a supportive relationship.
That's so true.
They need to be more like, we need more magical car boys in our life. That's what we need.
Also, Vin Diesel had previously made public comments saying that he had to show The Rock tough love to get the performance they wanted out of him.
Oh!
You know the performances in the Fast and the Furious?
Oh, the great and nuanced Vin Diesel! With his great and nuanced performance as Dominic Toretto! So many layer to the furrow brow! Oh! Emotion!
Fuck off.
Oh! Yeah, you gotta. Vin Diesel has to tell The Rock how to feel emotions.
Come on. How dare you? You dare tell Maui? You dare tell Maui? The demigod?
You dare tell Steven Jumanji?
Black Adam?
I haven't seen the new Jumanjis.
It's pretty good.
That's what I hear.
It's
I hear
good.
it's very cute.
It's good. The Rock's great.
He's great in everything. You haven't seen Walter Jungle Cruise? Excuse me. You have not seen Southland Tales.
No. Can't confirm.
The Scorpion King. David the Rundown. All of his most famous characters.
The Tooth Fairy.
The motherfucking Tooth Fairy.
Huh, Vin? Huh, Vin? Vincent? I'm just going to say it. I don't think his last name's really Diesel.
The shots they have been fired. Do you remember when he tried to do like a low rent Witcher based on his D&D campaign?
I do remember that.
You remember that? His real name is Mark Sinclair. I didn't know that.
I will say, everyone can choose a new name.
You can do whatever you want.
Everyone can be addressed however they should be respectfully addressed. Vin Diesel's a little schmuck, though. I think he should mostly be addressed as a little schmuck. Not by Mark Sinclair or by Vin Diesel, but by a little schmuck.
Vin Diesel gives all the other buff mice a bad name. Folks, we're moving on from Vin Diesel.
Okay.
We're moving on.
Yeah, okay.
We're moving on. It is a new year, and as it is a new year, the arrow of time keeps moving. And the arrow of time will constantly be reminding you that it is moving.
Mm-hmm.
It is the 30th anniversary of the original Mortal Kombat this year.
Wow.
30th anniversary. Can you believe that? And I'll tell you what, there's a studio, Eyeballistic, that wants to remake the Mortal Kombat trilogy. Remake it, give it the full 30th anniversary, bonus content, upscaling, the whole thing.
Do it!
They actually wanted to do this a few years ago. Now, they've made a few games. I'm not familiar with them, Eyeballistic. They made they're making a game called Lawless, which is a fighting RPG, is what they call it. They made a game called Beatron 2000 for the Oculus Go.
Okay.
Cold Blood is an action RPG they have in development. They've been making stuff.
I would be obviously surprised if they got handed something as large as Mortal Kombat Remaster.
Well, here's what's interesting. I thought the same thing. I was like, well, I don't know who these guys are.
Mm-hmm.
They apparently, in 2016, Ed Boon was like, yeah, I would love for y'all to make, like, apparently met with the studio, spoke to them,
Wow.
thought they were the right people to remake the Mortal Kombat trilogy.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of all of this, they went and they pitched their idea. They went and saw Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers initially gave them the green light, but then changed their minds because they thought that a remake of the original trilogy might have cannibalized the sales of Mortal Kombat. Was it 10 or 11? 10, I think. Mortal Kombat 10. So they squashed the idea in 2019.
But hey, that game's already dead.
That game is super dead. Fatality. Ha, that's a Mortal Kombat joke.
That game hit a real babality.
That's friendship. So they were told, nah, you can't do it anymore. Apparently, Eyeballistic is like, no, now's the time. And
30 years.
30 years. And they started a change.org petition to show Warner Brothers that there's interest in this.
This is an odd way to go about this, in my opinion, and I don't think it's going to work.
Me neither.
I do not think it's going to work. I don't think that let me make your game change.org petition is going to be effective. That feels a little odd. It feels a little Vin Diesel-y. Hey, the time is now. The people want Mortal Kombat. Think of all the fatalities.
Yeah, it's weird because they're doing this in such a strange way. They're like, hey, here's the petition. Hey, Ed Boon gave us the blessing, right? Now, that's where, if you're smart, as a studio that wants to work with a large corporation, that's where you shut your mouth. But what they did was they went, we were supposed to do it, and then Warner Brothers said no. So this petition is to show them that they should have said yes. Whoops!
Whoa, that's not going to happen.
Let me tell you something about working with anybody that owns an IP. You don't tell them they made you don't tell them they're fucking up their IP, and you don't publicly call them bad.
Right, saying like, well, they're the reason you don't have this. We wanted to make it for you. We were supposed to. They wanted us to, but
let me tell you, the number of times people sent me, when I was hosting the Star Wars show, I don't know anything. I have no connections, and I'm not even a Lucasfilm employee. I just host a show for them.
Never even had an idea.
I've never even had an idea. I almost had one today, but I got it wrong. People would message me saying, Star Wars sucks. You're fucking up Star Wars. Let me work for Star Wars so I can fix it. Baby. You don't stop. Number one, do not DM me.
At all.
Ever. But also, like, if you want to work with somebody, you don't come up to them and be like, you're fucking up.
Get me an opportunity.
You're fucking up. I'll fix you. I'll fix what you're doing. That's so condescending.
No, that's what I said to all of my ex-boyfriends. You're fucking up. I'll fix you.
Now, so they say Mortal Kombat's 30th anniversary is next year. We'd like to honor this amazing franchise by remaking the original Mortal Kombat trilogy on PC and consoles. Mortal Kombat Trilogy is a classic game combining all of the characters. It also includes nearly all of the stages from those games. Eyeballistic are a team of Mortal Kombat fans who approached series creator Ed Boon back in 2016 to remake the game in HD. Although Ed fully supported us, Warner Brothers, who owns the Mortal Kombat IP, was unconvinced the game would sell over 100,000 units worldwide, and thus they determined it wouldn't be worth the substantial cost of marketing the product for sale.
Warner Brothers voiced concern for business, like a business. Tell them they're mean.
Now, it's weird because that's their official statement, and then in the interview they say that Warner Brothers was afraid that our cool game would cannibalize the sales of their game.
Right. They were actually they were afraid it was going to be too good. So you could probably just let us make it now.
Boys. Let me, not me, because I don't want to, not me, but let someone come on and tell you how to market something.
Oh yeah, we don't want to help you.
We don't want to help.
We can't even help ourselves.
We have negative $2,000.
Right. So like it's not us, but someone should.
Someone should.
And then maybe they should help us.
Now, yeah, if you find somebody, let us know. I think this is very interesting. They're targeting 25,000 signatures, which if Warner Brothers said to you, we don't think it'll sell 100,000 copies, then that tells me you need 250,000 signatures, because that's 250,000 people saying, I'll buy your game.
All they had to do was sign and write their name down.
Right, but they don't have to buy it. So, like, hopefully if 250,000 sign, like,
I don't even think you'd get 100,000
out of that.
I think here's the thing. I think 100,000 people might buy a Mortal Kombat Remastered trilogy.
Depending on how it's priced, if you put up a Mortal Kombat trilogy that was Ultimate MK3, I don't know, what would you pay for that? What would you guys pay for that? I wouldn't pay over. Now, I'm not a big Mortal Kombat fan. I was a Capcom guy.
Yeah.
And an SNK guy, so the Mortal Kombat fight system was always strange to me.
I have a good amount of nostalgia for Mortal Kombat, but my preferred way of enjoying that is an arcade. I would rather play it in an arcade generally. I'm not somebody who sits at home and plays Mortal Kombat, so I'm going to say 30.
Yeah. For me it would be 20, which I understand is low.
Yeah.
But that's what I would be interested in paying for it. But I'm not their target audience.
I think 30 would be a perfectly fair for the trilogy.
Yeah, if they did like a good job of the upscaling and like that's the thing is like what does this 30th anniversary remake look like? What does it feel like? I mean, obviously you want it to play like the original games, but do you want to like recapture from source video? Do you want to upscale things? Do you want to just use original graphics?
We
I don't
just
know.
recently, also in celebration of the upcoming anniversary, we showed the clips that were like how they originally captured the moves, like the original mocap.
Just like on a DV camera in front of a green screen.
Yeah.
I love
just being like, I don't know, try to kick higher.
Yeah. Scorpion's whole thing was literally Ed Boon going, okay, throw out your hand like you're throwing out like a grappling hook or something.
That was it.
Cool. That's probably cool.
Yeah. Those were great.
That's probably cool.
Ad-libbing, get over here. Yeah, right?
So good. I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see it's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how it works out for them. I don't know that it will.
I do know that it won't, actually. I'm going to say it. I do know that it won't. I can't imagine that being effective with Warner Brothers.
Here's the thing that I want to, I mean, look, I got all my eggs in the multiversity basket right now, or multiversus. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want that Ultra Instinct Shaggy versus Bugs Bunny.
I'm coming in skeptically for multiverses, but
Sure.
I am excited.
I'm kind of like,
I've been hurt before, but like I'm ready. I'm ready to get hurt again.
I'm more interested in that than I am in a new Mortal Kombat or even a remake of Mortal Kombat.
I agree.
I think if there's anything the sales of the last Mortal Kombat show us, it's like Mortal Kombat, take a little sleep.
Yeah, maybe a break.
Little nappy.
Mm-hmm.
Little
maybe
nappy.
Make something else for a bit.
And let everybody like get excited about Mortal Kombat again.
It's important to let someone miss you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's it for today.
And speaking of which, it's time for you to miss us until Wednesday.
Hey! God, that was good. That was very good.
Thank you.
It's true. We do the show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So you can catch us again at 8 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday. And hey, there's so much extra stuff on the Patreon. You want to go back and catch up? We got so many clips for you. There will be a new one coming this week. Naturally, of course there will be.
Why wouldn't there be?
Don't miss it.
There's our producer, Dagger.
Yeah.
He's
there
right
we
down
go.
there in the corner.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anthony.
Yes.
Until Wednesday.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Well, I'm everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I'm at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine, give it back to me. You can also listen to me on my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns, with Jeff Kanata. That's wehaveconcerns.com. And if you missed it, all 3 episodes of our mini campaign, our little season 2 of Total Puppet Chaos, which is live tabletop role playing with live puppeteering.
It was very fun.
It's very good. The VODs are here on the Twitch channel. They are also, the whole show is up on YouTube. It's 3 episodes, 6 hours. Watch one a day. It's very funny and good. Other than that, I don't know, man. Organizing my apartment is where you can find me.
Nice. Just BB said, yes, I caught up for episode 3. It was super fun. Hell yeah. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. And you can find me everywhere on the internet at Not Saige. I stream over on my channel on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. You can also find me on Smosh Games. I think there's a board AF today. There's probably one. I don't know what's happening. We're all on holiday break. Shit's Aaron.
Baby, we're on island time.
We will be back with the Black Dice Society soon, and you can find me on this channel all the damn time. We're working on some exciting things that we will be announcing soon. For those waiting on the Failed Save season premiere, just give us a minute.
Tranquilo.
Just give us a minute. We promise it is coming. We're all very excited to do it. We want to do it safely. So understand there's probably going to be a little bit of a push and a little bit of flexibility there in the date that we originally announced, because the Panda Express is getting a little wild out here.
Listen, a lot of people are ordering the number 5 combo from the Panda Express.
The Pantera is thriving, unfortunately. So we'll keep you updated on that. Follow us on the socials. We're at the Pixel Circus on Twitter and such. Join the Discord. That's also a great place to get updates about all things Pixel Circus. And thank you to everybody who supported us during today's show. We're going to do a little roll call, a little honor roll, if you will, of the people who showed up the first time, decided to follow the channel, donated, subscribed, you know.
Thank you so much to Moxie Webb, Lord Zoom 607, Revection, Peaks 1025, Evie Something, Cyanide, Flair for the Dramatics, Sarah A. Rose, Curly Harry, Schlabach Shelley. Thank you all for following. Harry Horror Show hosting as always. We love that. Danny Boy's Calling Pipes with the $200 tip. Thank you so much. Saying Pixel Circuit or Sugar Breakfast / Get Pixel Circus Out of Debt Fund. Thank you. Rando Mando, thank you for the follow. Danny Boy's Calling Pipes with the gift sub to Almec. Hi, my name is Ro with the resub for 7 months, saying yay anniversary. We Twitch official. We sure are.
We are.
That's a real bond. J White 479. Where is Francis Farmer? Chris TV 93. Civil Coaster. Zombie Killer Chick. Baxter Misses, thank you all for the follow. Hacosta7192 with the $69 tip saying, New Year, same Shuggy breakfast.
Hey, thanks.
That's right. Basil Man, Wolfox10JC, Rexit, Resuscitation, thank you all for the follow. Gag Greg 47 with a $25 tip. Thank you so much. Best and only morning news show hosts and need sugar breakfast. Yes, I'm reading all of these messages in a way that says, put food into Anthony. Kodoroku with the 16-month sub saying, it's snowing and the storm knocked out my power. Happy New Year. Hey, stay warm and we hope that power comes back soon. Until then, just run out that mobile phone battery with us, baby. Carter Syke with the host, thank you. Groovy Deadite with the host, thank you. 66 with the prime sub, welcome. And Tarsier Audacity, thank you for the follow.
Thank you, BBs.
It looks like we got a couple. We got Takaka Jaden. Takaka Jaden, thank you for the host. Maxter666 and Eric J. Olivios, thank you so much for the follows.
So cool of you, BBs. Hey,
BBs.
I'm in my car charging said phone. Good luck. Stay safe. Stay warm. Seriously, we adore you all so much. Thank you to all of the new people who supported us on Patreon in the last couple of months. We hope that you will stick around and enjoy all of the fun things that are coming up there. We actually have a spot open on the TTRPG tier, I believe, and I have run through my wait list. So if you're trying to get in on that, we run a monthly game for you on the third Sunday of the month. Correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody who's on that tier right now. Off the top of my head. It's 9:40 a.m. One of the cast members runs a game for you. I ran the one for December. It was very, very fun. Yeah. So I don't know. You can literally just play in a game with us and hang out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
It's good. I mean, look, the people that we've got Gina DeVivo, we've got Vince Casso, we've got Kaylee Bray, we've got Abria Iyengar. Maybe you've heard of her. Yeah,
Abria ran a Masks game that was really fun. Anthony has run games.
We got Xander Genre. All these people are part of our cast, and they're brilliant, brilliant role players and game masters. So, yeah. Maybe jump in on that slot.
Yeah, pretty cool. Have a wonderful rest of your Monday. Thank you for starting your day with us, and we will see you on Wednesday. Goodbye, BBs.
Bye, BBs.